Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the Divine Life Blueprint podcast with This is Save. This is episode 2. And before we dive into anything, I just want us to do a little bit of check-in with ourselves. How are you feeling right now? How am I feeling right now? I am actually at a place whereby I'm just filled with so much gratitude from the last episodes that we released. Everything that has happened from that point has been so affirming of this podcast. And I just want to say thank you before everything else. You guys have been amazing. The love, the support, the engagement, the feedback, like it means a lot to me right now, especially at this point of the podcast. Like this is where we make or break it. I mean, I mean, but yeah, to be honest though, I am scared. There's a bit of fear here in the that I feel it's the weight of this podcast. I feel like just the potential of it, of the impact that it will make to my generation. It's something that I don't take lightly. It's 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 something that is overwhelming as well. And as much as I am scared, right? As much as I'm scared, I know that when you do something scared, it means that you're doing something right, especially when it feels the way that it feels right now. Like, I have no words to explain. And a podcast is all about conversations and words, but I am at the place right now where I just like, I don't know. I don't know. But hey, we're here and we are leaning into purpose and trusting the process. So let's do this. Let's do this. On today's episode, we are unraveling the question of how do you define purpose, right? The reason this is the topic I picked up for our second episode is because the whole podcast will be centered around discovering one's purpose, right? Sharing my journey on that and the tools that I get to use, the ideas and all of that. It centered at the core of our purpose, of defining it, of understanding it, right? So purpose, I would say, at a personal level, purpose is a term that can be interpreted in different ways depending with where you are in life, right? I'm saying this because like there is a level of purpose that people understand that is in a personal dimension, and then there is one that is in the societal dimension, and one that is in the spiritual dimension. So I am putting them in that order because that's how I discovered my own purpose. Like I went through those dimensions, I would say in phases, right? So the first one that I mentioned, the personal one, this is where your talents lie. This is where your passion lie. This is where the things that you do that bring you joy lie. So it just reflects all of those, like the meaning, the fulfillment, the things that fulfill you, like it's on the personal level. And then when you go to the societal one, this is a more of an outward experience. It's the purpose that one encompasses when it comes to the community, when it comes to their families, when it comes to the legacy that you get to live. So that's another way of interpreting one's purpose. And then there's a spiritual one, which is rooted in God's will, in God's plan for our lives, in our faith, and working on that will that like is very unique for each person. It's centered on not what we do, but who we are in Christ. So did I, how did I journey through these three dimensions? How did I experience them? So the first, which is like the personal one, it came about, I would say, in fragments of you growing up, right? There are things that like you just gravitate towards, the things that like just like make you want to explore more of them, want to do more of them. So for me, it was mainly helping people, right? Not helping people in a sense of like, come here, I will help you do this for you kind of thing. No, I like to help people in a way that they can be able to help themselves. This is something that has been there for me since primary, right? High school, varsity. I would understand topics quickly than other people, and I wouldn't enjoy to see someone being at a position where, at our schools, like the teachers would like put you in the spotlight when you don't understand something, and they will ask questions that they know very well you don't have answers for. So I would be that person that would like to explain things in a sense that someone can understand it, so that by the time they are asked questions, they can like answer for themselves, right? This is the school level. And then when I started my own business, doing websites, I'm doing graphic designs and all of that stuff. Yes, it was fun, but I wanted it to go in the direction of helping people to take themselves out of spaces of being on the disadvantage, because I also have a background of growing up in a disadvantaged community. So I wanted to share the skills that I have with people so that they can also like do things that will help them to earn money, right? So, but that's something that's like didn't take ground because I was at the point whereby I had to close the business and focus on my career. Even then, when I focused on my career, you see now what I just explained when it comes to the business, it's more of a societal purpose, like where I wanted to help people in a sort of a societal spectrum, right? So when it was personal, like the first fragment of the personal kind of thing is like explaining things to people so that they can be able to help themselves out of situations. And then now on that communal space, I was not able to bring the business up, right? And I had to focus on my career as well. But even when I went back to focus on my career, that personal purpose of helping people didn't die out. Like I became the person that like shared the things that I use to help me manage my time when it comes to my work. How do I get to be more productive and be more effective when it comes to my work? So I shared those ideas as presentations to help my team, to help, to help everyone that like was in a place that they were struggling. I would put it that way. That started since the COVID times hit, working from home and all that. So those are the things that I learned in that space, and I wanted to share them with people so that I can help them help themselves. Do you get it? So when it comes to the spiritual part now, this is where I got to know myself. This is where I got to have the identity in Christ and be the person that rely more on God will and the things that she tells me to do more than my own understanding. So now I'm at a position whereby I'm experiencing all that I've been through in a full cycle mode, right? I know what I've been called for when it comes to serving. I know what I've been called for when it comes to living out my passions in a place of fulfillment and contentment. I know what I've been called for when it comes to my spiritual purpose, which means that it's encompassing all of those things that I have experienced and found out about myself that I enjoy, I gravitate to, and when it comes to serving people, but in a way that will glorify God. So I get to do things that align with God's will, things that I have to first confirm with God first before moving forward with. So yeah, that's the whole ecosystem of the divine life blueprint. It's that. So before I close off on everything, I just want to also remind you that as I have shared with you my whole experience, you can see it's been a process. It's not something that you just wake up to. It's something that happens in its own time, right? In its own timeline. And with where you are right now in life, just try to sort of throw a dart, I would say, to what I have like shared with you and like just reflect on and just like look, okay, where I'm at in life right now. What are the things that like I gravitate towards? And you must understand that purpose is not about perfection. It's all about progress. You know me and my stories. So I'm gonna share with you a story that inspired me this week of a farmer that had a donkey, and the donkey fell into a well. The well is so deep that he can't take the donkey out of it. And the donkey is an old donkey, right? So given the age of the donkey and given the dangers of the well that is not being utilized, the farmer just decided that, you know what I'm going to do is just close this well off and just bury the donkey same time. So what happens with that, like every time that he like shovels like the ground into the well, he kept on like shoveling it out. On the last moment, the donkey walks out, and he realized at that moment that like with every shovel that he did point it into the well, the donkey shook it off, right? So with everything that you're experiencing it right now, you can be like the donkey, man. The debt is being thrown at you. You keep on shaking it off until it gets to a point whereby you can take yourself out of it. So using the things that are meant to disadvantage you, that are meant to discourage you into an advantage to help you level up. So that's also what figuring your purpose is. It's being in the present moment. It's experiencing yourself. It's experiencing the things that life throws at you, and see how you can level yourself out on them. So with that and so much love, bye.